so annoying. It's not even the right lyrics. At least get the lyrics right. Can it be with Lala and Lulu?
No, it can't be. Live in love with Lala?
Live in love with Lulu and ooh la la. We'll keep it flange.
Can we start?
What's up, guys? It's Lulu and Lala, and this is episode 2 of Live in Love with Lulu and Lala.
Very good. All right, so this episode, we want to give you guys an insight of who we are because
Kind of like a reintroduction.
Yeah,
Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. Cliche?
no. So most of you guys know us from the radio station, 103.5 KTU, or when we lived down in Florida and we were at the radio station down there. But we want to bring it back
So how we even
got Lulu and Lala.
Yeah, let's take it that far.
How did we get here? Well, we don't know how we got here. Mom and Dad had one night of passion. But we're not gonna get into that because this is nasty. Okay, we were born Marianella
and Marissa.
Those are our
Wait,
real
I think I hit my mic. All right.
Those are our real names. I'm Marianella.
And yo soy Marisa.
And so, where did Lulu and Lala come? Well, we are identical twins.
And with every identical twin, usually they have their twin language. What is twin language?
Gibberish. Whatever it is, nobody understands it but the twins. And so, we have an older sister. Her name's Liliana.
And everyone calls her Lily for short. So within us being little and hearing Lily and Lily and
having our own language, we took it upon ourselves to name ourselves.
So I named her Lulu.
And I named her Lala. And ever since,
we've stuck with those names.
Lulu and
I
Lala.
never call her Marianella. And even, first of all, she doesn't even like how I say her name. The only time I call her Marianella is when I'm trying to annoy her or when I'm mad at her.
I don't like how she says my name. There's only like 2 people that say my name the right way. And that's Lily, our older sister, and Eric Herzog from work. Those are the only 2 people I tolerate them calling me Marianella.
Fancy. Only 2 people can say her name right. The name.
The reason I say that is because growing up, when I was in high school and in elementary school, they'd call me Marinera. They'd call me Maria Elena.
Marabella.
It's Marianella. It ain't that hard. But apparently it is, so now everyone calls me Lulu.
And I'm Lala.
And so that is how Lulu and Lala came to be.
Growing up, we danced a lot. We danced until...
Well, before we even go into that, let's give them a background of...
Oh, okay, we're Cuban Salvadorian.
Mom is Cuban.
Papi is El Salvador.
Lots of people confuse us for Puerto Rican or Dominican or Persian. And that's cool because we love everyone. But no, it's Cuban Salvadorian.
So we've got the best of both worlds. We're Caribbean, Central American, and of
we're
course we're American as well.
Because we were born here in the grand United States of America.
So like I said before, we always danced growing up. We danced until senior year of high school. And then we decided when we go to college, let's try and do something else.
So we took TV and radio production
in college.
Now, before that, we went to community college. And there was a professor there in our radio class that said that Lala and I
would never do radio
because we had an accent. Why would a professor tell me I'm never gonna make it? What am I paying you for?
And it's not very encouraging either. Like, where's the confidence in your students, you know?
So needless to say, we left that school and went to NJCU.
New Jersey City University, great school. We took radio again
and production, and that is where we met
our best friend Carlos.
Now,
which is, by the way, he's the one recording all this and editing it.
We didn't finish school, so that's why he's here. But regardless of the fact, when we met Carlos, I hated him. I wanted to strangle him
because he criticized one of the assignments that we did. He didn't make us look good for the professor. So
that annoyed me. I'm like, who are you? I don't even know you. Why are you putting me in the dumps with the professor?
But anyway, he was the one that actually called us back, and because of him, we started doing press junkets and red carpet.
He was, I think, working at Comcast with a guy named Ruben Rodriguez, who then told him, hey, bring the girls in so they could do
audition and we could do press junkets and red carpets. We had never done this. We didn't know what to do. They just said, stand in front of the camera
and give a review about this movie.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. And maybe a day later, I get the call saying, hey, we're flying you to LA. You're going to go interview all these celebrities. Now, I am newbie in college, and you're telling me I'm going to go interview freaking Leonardo DiCaprio or Lindsay Lohan.
Or for me, because you always did the press junkets, I always did the red carpet. So I'm fighting against all these other experienced, camera people, entertainment, other people, and I'm just this little college girl trying to get my mic in there to get an interview. I was clueless. I didn't know what I was doing, but like in everything, we never know what we're doing.
You fake it until you make it, right? That's the saying. Well, that's
and we
what
did.
we did. I got a really good interview from Robin Williams, so that's one of the highlights of the press junket era of my life. But thanks to Carlos and thanks to that experience, we were able to maneuver our way through TV.
And then
at the same time we were interning at E-Asylum, we were also interning at Univision TV.
Yes. Now, Univision was a great experience. We got to learn a lot. I observed a lot. I was that intern that would come in on her days off, even though I wasn't scheduled to be there, just because I wanted to see what was going on.
And
if anyone needed something, I was there. I was that annoying
And
intern.
it was more hands-on. Like, you saw how they put the news together. You saw how they put an entertainment. You saw how the packages were done. So I really just, by observing, learned a lot. With E-Asylum, it was more like, figure it out yourself and
do a good job.
Yeah, just figure it out. So we got
the best of both worlds.
Exactly. Then, towards the end of our Univision internship, Nuestra Belleza Latina,
which is it's a very popular show on Univision. It's kind of like America's Next Top Model Latin version.
They tell us, hey, you guys should
audition for this.
Now, our first thought was, well, our Spanish isn't all that great.
And we had the college weight, so we weren't exactly toothpicks.
But needless to say,
we made it to Miami, we made it into the show. A week later, we were eliminated from the show, but then El Gol de la Flaca, which is a very popular Spanish show on Univision.
It's like saying E! Entertainment or Access Hollywood.
Picked us up so that we could go throughout the country reporting for that very same show that we had been kicked out of.
Yeah, so we were working in Chicago, Houston, California.
It was a lot of fun and we learned a lot.
Then I think is where we actually learned you have 3 minutes to get your point across and put a package together. You have to write your own stuff and just go with it.
And it was the first time that I have this thing in my ear and I'm hearing voices here. I'm figuring out what's going on in this ear, and I have a camera and I realize this is live TV. If I mess up, I mess up. So it was nerve-wracking, but
it was a great experience. Yeah. We really learned a lot. It was kind of like, wow. And again, our Spanish wasn't all that great. So for us to be able to have done that was, my mom was like, wow, I can't believe you guys, we had no faith in you guys. But now we do.
And then after all that was over, we were able to do Premio Juventud and Premio Lo Nuestro. And we used to do a lot for the Latin Grammys and stuff like that. Well, the Latin Grammys came when we started working with radio. So after TV was done, the only thing that was available was in radio.
So that was a reality check. Here we are working on an international, national TV show where everyone is seeing you, of course, on the Latin side. And then they tell us, well,
thank you.
We don't need you anymore. Wow, where do we go? Well, we worked at a hardware store,
which we had quit to do this. We dropped out of college to do this, and now we have nothing. The only thing that was available was doing promo work on the radio station, Univision Radio.
Now, if you guys don't know about radio, that is where you start off. Most people start off at the bottom. It's promotions.
You work your way up.
Yeah, so we did that. We did that for about
7 years with, we started off with Ipacha. He'd invite us every Saturday to his show. Then we did Luis Jimenez show, the morning show, for about 5-6 years. We learned a lot as well. We saw how promotions are the eyes and ears of a radio station. You're out on the streets, you're figuring out what the people want to hear, and it was a good experience. But then after that was over,
then when we thought we were gonna get a promotion, we got the opposite. We were demoted. We were offered freelance, and it was kind of like, really? We put all this work and that's what you're offering us? Thanks, but no thanks.
And we left Univision.
That's right.
Forever grateful for that experience, but it was time to move on.
And
that same day, well, we got a call from CBS Radio. They found out that we had gotten, let go. And they're like, sorry about that, but hey, you want to come audition for the morning show here? And we're like, Wow,
Let me
okay.
explain to you guys something. It is not easy to make that crossover so
Smoothly.
exactly. So for us to have gotten that opportunity was kind of like, wow,
A blessing in disguise.
this never happens.
And I
Even
want to
if-
thank Rick Gillette and Robert Wagman, who actually had faith in us and called us up so that we could start doing mornings.
with Ty Bentley. And so we did that for 2 years on 92.3 now.
After 2 years of doing mornings for CBS Radio, that's it. There was nothing else for us. New management came in and everybody was out the door.
So that experience was also kind of like, wow, we were unemployed for an entire year. All of our savings was gone. We didn't know what to do.
And it's the same. One day you're in, the other day you're out. In entertainment, that's how it is.
We were super depressed, and it wasn't until, God, I forgot his name. I forgot his name, but I gotta thank him because we were at some charity event and he called us out and basically told us, you know what? You're just feeling sorry for yourselves. Get your asses up and go hustle like you used to do before. Who do you think you are? Prima donna? I don't want to hear it.
You guys are wasting your talent. He gave us that pep talk that nobody
In front
did.
of everybody, which was embarrassing, but it's what we needed.
What we needed, and it was enough to like fire up our asses to like, all right,
Let's get the ball rolling.
What's wrong
And
with
so,
us?
After that, Jill Strata
Called
who
us
I'm
up.
Grateful for, said, "Hey, we want to give you your own show, but it's in Florida. It's in Miami, and you'd be doing afternoons."
Well, first of all, it was supposed to be mornings, co-host with DJ Laz. But once we auditioned, Jill thought of something else. She thought, you know what? There's a lot of talent here. You guys deserve your own show. It's time. And at first, I was like offended, like us. How dare you give us our own show?
Who do you think you are?
But it was because of my insecurities. I had never ran our own show. We were always led by the main host of a show. So I myself I was already blocking it. Like, no, I'm not worthy. But Jill really pushed us, saying, make your mistakes here in Miami. You have the ability to run your own show. You got the talent. Believe in yourselves. I do. And so we had our own show, afternoons in Florida, for 2 years on Hits 97.3.
And that was actually another experience, a learning experience, because our whole lives, we've lived together, we've worked together, but not at this level. We actually have to trust each other in the workplace. And so the first 6 months of us doing our own show, it was constant fighting, cursing each other off,
Very
kicking
bad.
her out of the studio, her kicking me out of the studio.
Extremely bad.
Because she thought I was bossing her around, but she didn't understand that she was
always
rambling.
No,
It's like we're on a time basis. Commercials have to be played. Get to the meat and potatoes, and let's keep it moving.
It was frustrating because we had to learn how to deal with one another and trust one another and know that she's not trying to overshine me. I'm not trying to overshine her. It's just, let's just work together.
We were just trying to make the show work. And it did, but then in radio, it's 2 years and then out the door.
In radio, it's always, contracts are always like 2 to 3 years. So every 2 years, everyone's like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Or every 3 years, are we gonna get fired? Are they gonna extend the contract? What's happening? And so at that time,
I wanted to go back home because the goal was to always be in the #1 market, which is New York. And plus our family was here, mom and dad, my sisters, my nieces, my cousins.
everyone was here, our grandmother. So we got the call from Rob Miller, who said, hey, I want you to come join the iHeart team on KTU doing nights. And we're always so thankful for him.
To be able to be on a heritage radio station in the #1 market doing nights, it's a dream come true. And then I circle back to that one college professor who told us that we were never gonna do radio because of her accent. Well, you know what I have to say?
Look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Look at us now. But working at KTU has been amazing. We're so happy. I was afraid that coming back into New York, people
Weren't gonna be receptive to us.
or people weren't going to remember us from our time at Univision or even on CBS. I thought people were going to be like, who are these? But a lot of people welcomed us back, saying, oh my God, so happy you're back. And to the new listeners, we're very happy. They really welcomed us in.
It's a family. But I just want to say thank you to all the fans.
And for everyone who wondered, how did we get here?
This is a quick little recap of how we got here. And to our co-workers who put up with our crap, we love you too. Eric, I'm talking to you.
And we'll get more into detail when it comes to radio. A lot of people have questions. How do I get into radio? How do I get my music in radio? That's all coming in the series. But right now, it was just a little recap intro of us and
So,
how we got here.
Hope you enjoyed episode 2 of
Live in Love with Lulu and Lala.